Mufti Abdul Hakim in his book, Ha Khuda Hai, Yes, God Exists, has written, there are many different types of snake. Many. Hundreds and thousands. Out of the different types of snake we have, there's a special type of snake. It hibernates in the winter months. It goes underground. When it does this, the snake becomes blind. After the winter months, the snake comes out. It is blind. This blind snake makes its way to a certain tree called Ras Banj. Sometimes it travels miles before it gets to this tree. It gets to this tree, it rubs his eyes with this tree, and he regains sight. The snake is able to see. I ask, the snake is blind. How does this snake know how to get to this tree? Who leads it to this tree? There are hundreds and thousands of different trees. Yet this snake, blind snake, gets to this tree. Who has taught this snake, rub your eyes with this tree and you will regain sight? Why doesn't this snake rub its eyes with some other tree? For those that use the internet, very recently, the scientists in Poland discovered that an ant, how big is an ant? It can barely be seen with the naked eye. The scientists discovered that an ant, a single ant, was carrying a dead bird in the air. It weighed 500 times more than the ant. 500 times more than the ant. I think you have not understood. It means that somebody like yourself and I who weighs 200 pounds, carrying 50 tons in the air, this is what it is equivalent to. 50 tons in the air. Who can pick up 50 tons from you and I? Even the world's strongest man cannot push 50 tons, pull 50 tons, never mind lift 50 tons. Elephants cannot pick up such weight. Yet this ant, the scientists have discovered that this ant, which can barely be seen with the naked eye, is picking up such weight. When you walk down the street, you probably trample 50, 100 every day without even noticing. Yet this so small creature has so much power that it will put you and I to shame. Where's the power come from? We do not have such power. An elephant doesn't have such power. Yet this small thing, which can barely be seen with the naked eye, can carry such weight. Allama Damiri, in his book Hayat al-Haywan, has written that a spider, when it lays eggs, after 3 days, the young take the form of a spider. After 3 days. As soon as it becomes a spider, after 3 days, it begins to make the web. It's been to no madrasa, no schooling, no nothing. Yet this spider begins to make this web. Who's taught this spider to make the web? I say this because we're in the 20th century, the era of science. We've conquered the moon. At this moment in time, as I address you, scientists are using all types of sophisticated genetic engineering techniques to make the artificial web. Man's greatest mind and machines are put to this task. Yet they are not able to make something like the web. This little spider, 3 days after coming into existence, is able to make such a web. Look at the monarch butterfly. It migrates every year. From Mexico City, it migrates to the Great Lakes in America. And from there back again. Every year it migrates. And it is only the 4th generation that complete this migration. Only the 4th. The 1st generation migrates from Mexico City to Louisiana and Texas. They lay the eggs there and die. The 2nd generation from there makes its way to the Great Lakes. They lay their eggs and die. The third generation makes its way from the Great Lakes down to the East Coast, to the Appalachians. They lay their eggs and die. And it is only the fourth generation that make it back to Mexico City. I ask, each generation has gone to a place where it has never been before. Each generation has gone to a place. The first generation go from Mexico City to Texas. The second from there to the Great Lakes. The third from there to the East Coast. And the fourth from the East Coast to Mexico City. Each generation has traveled thousands or hundreds of miles to a place where it has never been before. How does it get to this place? How does it know that it has to get to this place? Who guides this butterfly? Scientists to this very day say that this butterfly flies high when the wind is behind it. And it flies low when the wind is against it. To this very day, they do not know why it does this. And how it knows the wind is behind it. And how it knows the wind is against it. The moon goes round the earth round the sun. Everything within the universe is taking its course. Who has set this course? Who has set everything within the position they are? Everything is running perfect, without a single mistake. One mistake, there will be no earth. Everything is running exactly the way it was set. Who has set them? Who leads this blind snake to this tree? There are hundreds and thousands of trees, yet this blind snake gets to this tree. Who has taught it, rub your eyes with this tree? The ant is so small, it can barely be seen with the naked eye, yet it can pick up such weight that it will put you and I to shame. The spider begins to make the web. Modern day scientists, with all their latest equipment, cannot make this web. The monarch butterfly travels hundreds and thousands of miles to a destination where it has never been before. I ask, is it not like the Quran said 1400 years ago? رَبُّنَا الَّذِي أَعْطَى كُلَّ شَيْءٍ خَلْقَهُ ثُمَّ هَدَى. The Quran said 1400 years ago, رَبُّنَا الَّذِي أَعْطَى كُلَّ شَيْءٍ خَلْقَهُ ثُمَّ هَدَى. Allah is the one who has created everything and then guided it. Our Lord Allah is the one who gave to everything according to its capacity, its form, its shape, its powers and effects, and made them by His perfect wisdom as was necessary and required. Then Allah guided them and Allah taught them. Ponder over Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's creation. Any creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, no matter how small it is, how insignificant it may seem, wallahi, it will lead you towards Allah. It will lead you towards the Creator. It will lead you towards the Designer. It will lead you towards the Maker. Time after time, our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has ordered us to ponder over the creation of Allah. تفكروا أكثر التفكر والاعتبار. Spend time pondering and thinking. تفكر ساعة خير من قيام ليلة. Pondering for a short while is better than spending the whole night in nafil, worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. تفكروا في خلق الله. Ponder over the creation of Allah. تفكروا في آلاء الله. Ponder over the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Time after time, our Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has ordered us to ponder. Why? Because pondering over the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will lead us, will help us to recognize Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the recognition of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will strengthen our faith, it will strengthen our yaqeen, it will strengthen our belief.